everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to get updated on what's happening in the housing market, specifically Central Texas and the Bell County area. So if you're transitioning to Fort Hood, Killeen, kind of that hub, or if you're just already here and just kind of thinking about buying or selling and just kind of curious what's happening, then stay tuned. Let's get into these numbers. I have my notes over here, so that's what I'm kind of glancing at. And let's go whichever way the transition is going to go. All right, you guys, let's jump right into it. So our average home price is looking at $235,000. Now, if you check out my previous market update, if I'm not mistaken, the price has increased a little bit. So we are still seeing that nationwide trend here as well, you know, where we're seeing higher price tags. Now, I know $235,000 seems pretty nice compared to other places, especially depending where you're coming from, or if you ride just 45 minutes up the road up towards Austin, Round Rock. $235,000 is completely different buying power compared to what it may get you in the Killeen, Fort Hood, Harker Heights area. But still, that's just kind of what our average number is looking like. Now, keep in mind, we do have $1 million homes here too, and we have, you know, beginner homes and, you know, homes that are kind of like used as flippers and things like that. So we have a wide range like anyone else. So don't think it's like, oh, they just have $300,000 homes. Nope, we've got all in between, but that's just of course what the average is looking like. Now this is still up 18%, actually a little bit over 18% compared to last year. So we are, like I said, we're continuing to see that price increase just like everywhere else. It's just not quite as dramatic. And that's one thing I've actually always appreciated about the Central Texas area, is that it is kind of its own economic bubble. We are driven by different factors, although we are close to Austin, Waco, and some of the bigger cities. Dallas is a couple hours away, so it's, you know, not quite as impactful, but we are close to Austin, so we do kind of get some of the overflow, and then we've got definitely some new companies and stuff getting closer to us. So I am kind of anticipating some market changes, and I know we'll continue to get some of the overflow from Austin, especially as people have more availability to work from home or kind of commute and things like that. Especially as they get kind of pushed out of Austin, because Austin is really just getting extremely expensive, and it's going to drop as far as affordable places to live. Kind of already has, but you know, it's going to continue to kind of drop compared to where it previously stood. But anyway, that's a whole different topic. So I kind of imagine we'll kind of continue to get some of the overflow as that as well, because we are seeing people from Austin kind of move in, California people move in, just because you get a lot more buying power. But anyway, so active listings for the month of July, 376. As far as inventory, we are still seeing a little bit less than a month of inventory, so we are still experiencing inventory shortages here too, just like majority of places. Average days on market is only 21, so as you can see, the homes are still going pretty quickly. Depending on the home, you know, we're still seeing them under contract within a week, maybe 2 weeks, or as you can see, like the average days are 21 days. So like anywhere else, we are still in a competitive market here too. Now, one good thing is these numbers are from July. We have kind of seen like a slight market shift as far as August. It's still competitive and things like that, but we are starting to head into those cooler months where people are not quite as active. The summertime, especially the military towns, people are trying to PCS, get there before the kids start school and things like that. So things, you know, typically that trend will start to shift a little bit as the seasons start to approach, and people are kind of focusing on families and holidays and things like that, and less so on purchasing and selling homes. Not saying that they don't, it's just a change in the season like anything else. But so let's continue. So the average price point per square foot is looking at $124. Now, one interesting thing I like to show is the close to list price is actually still showing at 103%, which means homes are still selling for over their list price, which is, you know, something that's very interesting to know and to keep in mind if you're coming to this area, or if you're looking to buy or sell, that you may still be, you know, kind of right at list price, maybe slightly above. Now, 103 is not, you know, a crazy number, but it just kind of shows that we are still a little bit more in a competitive market here as well. I do kind of monitor Austin and that area up there as well quite a bit too, and I've kind of seen a trend with them. I've actually seen price decreases back on markets more, so you can kind of see that there is a slight shift. It doesn't mean that there's going to be a crash or a bubble or anything like that, but we are seeing the market start to correct itself a little bit. But of course, if you're working with the realtor, you know, always talk to your professional, talk to your lender, have your numbers, have a strategy in place. Don't go out there just assuming like, oh, the market's better, I can bid $20,000 under. That is probably not advised. So keep that in mind, but we are starting to see some market corrections happened, which is great because that was not a very sustainable market for buyers or sellers, because sellers, you know, the ones that did so were making extra money, but at the same time, if they were looking for another place, then they were kind of in the same boat as the buyers. And of course, we don't want the buyers, you know, just completely fatigued. And that's another thing that we're kind of seeing too, why, you know, maybe the numbers are starting to change, because some people are just kind of tired or kind of, you know, worn out of bidding wars and things like that. So they've kind of taken a break. But anyway, so let's kind of take a look at a couple more pieces of data. All right, so I had to restart my computer real quick. But one piece that I also want to bring up is the number of active listings. So for the month of July, there was 376 active listings for the Bell County area, but that is still 38% lower than, you know, the prior year. So like I said before, we are still kind of having those inventory shortages as well. So if you're coming to the area, if you're looking to purchase, make sure that you speak with a realtor, speak with your lender, kind of have a game plan and a time frame set out, just in case you don't necessarily get the home in the time frame that you were originally thinking. Sometimes people think like, oh, it's going to be super quick, and depending on what you're looking for, depending on the location, depending on basically the inventory, it could take a little bit longer. So you want to have a plan ready and possibly a backup plan, whether that's staying where you're staying put, selling, you know, maybe not selling quite then, or finding a rental in the meantime, especially if you're coming to the area. Rentals are also kind of hard to come by, so when they are there, there's multiple applications. They're going quickly too, so another kind of factor to keep in mind. Never discouraging, but making sure that you're fully equipped and you're knowledgeable of what's happening in the market. Therefore, you can make the best decision possible for you. All right, guys, there is a quick recap for the Bell County market update for the month of July. I will see you guys next month when they release the August numbers. And well, we're in August, it's always a month behind, but so September they'll have the August numbers out and we'll talk about what's happening. So stay tuned. Till then, have a good day.